The Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
And we're going to see some more snow in the morning, and that's why we're under a weather impact alert. Thanks for joining us here after the State of the Union. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Annette Montgomery, and that snow could make for more school closings and delays. So to see if your school is on that list, we have it scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frink is here with the first check of the forecast. So Rachel, explain why some of those schools are delaying or canceling altogether tomorrow.
Yeah, because the snow is going to be developing early in the morning between 5 to 7 a.m. And we want to really stress it's not about the amount of snow that's going to come down. This is going to be easy for us, a coating to a couple of inches. But what is not easy is the timing. Again, for many superintendents, you're waking up, you're starting to see the snow move in, and you have to make the call. And obviously, this is already day 2 of snow days for many kids. So could they make it a third? Do they delay? I am so glad I do not have to make that call, but we'll have you covered again tomorrow morning. So add a little bit of extra time. Make sure you have a plan B if you do have kids. Again, here's a look at accumulations. A coating up to an inch or 2 will do it for most of the state. And there could be some higher amounts, especially in the Northwest Hills, up to 2 or even as high as 3 inches there. Here's a look at the radar. Not much going on at the moment, but here's a look at our system approaching. It doesn't look like much because, again, it's not much. We'll just see a quick little burst of snow. The timing's not great. Here's a look at temperatures. They are dropping fast, and that's the other thing. We are going to be very cold as the snow moves in. Overnight lows will be in the teens, but notice we do start to see the numbers tick up a little bit as we head through the morning, and that will help, especially as it's starting to move out. So we see that snow move in 5 to 7. Comes down in a quick little burst, temperatures rise, and then that snow will move out of here as we head through the late morning, early afternoon, and then it will all melt away with high temperatures in the 30s to near 40 degrees as we head through the afternoon. I'm going to show you the future radar. If you're more of a visual person, we'll step you through this and talk about what else is in the pipeline, if anything, coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, Governor Ned Lamont has extended the state's cold weather protocol through Thursday afternoon. If you or anyone you know is in need of shelter or a warming center, 211 is there to help. Transportation can also be provided. While the blizzard is over, it's still impacting air travel for a third day now.
Fox 61's Tim Latow shows us what passengers at Bradley International Airport had to deal with today.
Airport officials say 25% of flights were canceled Tuesday compared to 95% on Monday. There have been many delays as airport officials say that operations are still getting back on schedule.
I've heard that the conference I'm going to has been affected as well, with travelers coming from the Northeast.
Keith Boucher and thousands of travelers at Bradley International Airport and across the Northeast have been grounded by the blizzard. Now flights are picking back up at Bradley with fewer delays and cancellations as the week goes on.
I actually had a flight earlier, but it got canceled because of the weather. And so it was a little bit tense. I was lucky to find another flight.
Jahil Kiatamba is traveling to Providence, Rhode Island from Minneapolis, Minnesota to visit her dad. She was stuck for hours in Chicago during the blizzard after her flight was canceled. Now she's just an hour's drive from her dad.
I was really excited because it would have been unfortunate if I had to go back home or something. Yeah, because I came to do something really important.
For Anthony Cristobal, he's saying goodbye to his family for a second time before he travels to Camp Lejeune in North Carolina for Marine Corps training.
I was supposed to take off yesterday, what I heard. So that's why they pushed me back yesterday, and they gave me a little bit of leniency, which is, kind of them to do. And it calms me down a little bit to see, they're at least taking care of, their future Marines.
He says he just wants to make it out of Connecticut before another round of snow.
The storm cleared out pretty fast, and I heard it's going to snow even more tomorrow, which is, good thing I'm going now instead of later.
The TSA line that was non-existent Monday filed back in on Tuesday, and airline ticket counters stayed busy. Boucher suggests everyone allow for extra time at the airport, just so there aren't any other travel hiccups.
I usually get here with an hour to spare, but today I'm here 2 hours to spare, so I would just add extra time.
And delays may continue into Wednesday, so airport staff say be sure to check your airline's app for the most up-to-date information. At Bradley International Airport, Tim Latow, Fox 61.
And And as a reminder, you can get the weather impact forecast and live radar anytime. Download Fox 61 Plus on your smart TV and stream the forecast for free. Earlier tonight, people gathered in Norwich to protest the suspension of the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department.
Fox 61's Valerie Moravi was there and explains why some people are now upset with that decision.
Well, members of the community gather on West Main Street to demand both the city's manager and the fire chief to resign. Now, this comes after all operations were suspended at the Yantic Fire Department 2 weeks ago after disagreements with the city of Norwich over a new contract. People shouted and demanded change Tuesday after operations at the Yantic Volunteer Fire Department were halted.
We just want to make sure that our volunteers know that we stand with them and that we support them.
In a previous interview with Fox 61, the city manager, John Solomon, told us the agreement included that the Yantic Fire Department will participate in a unified command. He said this was a discussion that's been in the talks since August, and this move was necessary. But the Yantic Volunteer Fire Chief Robert Allen said they were not given enough time to review the document with their members. Many community members and families with ties to the Volunteer Fire Department have not taken the decision lightly. Robin Sikowski is upset with what she says is a lack of transparency.
You know, we're told that Chief Wilson has a contingency plan and that he can cover this whole city, but in actuality, the city covers 3.2 square miles of a 29-mile city, you know, or 29-mile wide city. So I don't understand where those extra bodies are coming from. If you can't do the job, you just don't want to do the job anymore, you got to go.
Concerns over a potential tax rate increase has also taken a toll on the community.
So he's going to come to the city at some point, and he's going to want money to pay for a housing trailer that they're using in Yantic, and they're going to want money for all these hours that they're pumping out right now that they didn't plan on. And where's that going to come from? The city's not going to have money. They didn't put that money aside, so it's going to have to come from our pockets.
The Norwich fire chief has pushed back on the idea that the move is financially motivated. Meanwhile, neighbors like Mark Adams say what they need at this moment is safety.
We've had enough, and it stops right here, and this is where it ends. We want to put out the fire that they started, right? And the only right thing to do for the city is for them to resign right now. They're costing us money in lawsuits and over paying the paid department and overtime. I mean, the town is already fiscally strapped, and we can't afford that. You know, and this isn't a paid firefighters versus volunteer firefighter thing. You know, it's about our public safety, and that when you're taking people away from responding to emergencies, you're putting our public at risk.
Now, it's still unclear whether the city of Norwich and the Volunteer Fire Department will come to an agreement, but for the time being, all emergency responses in the Yantic area are being covered by the Norwich Fire Department. Reporting in Norwich, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Thank you, Valerie. A West Hartford teen died today following a shooting. Police say 17-year-old Camden Siegel was shot early Sunday morning near Ann Usello Street in Hartford. Officers say Siegel was unresponsive when he was taken to the hospital. Police say another man in his 20s was also shot, and he's in critical condition. This time, there's no word on a possible suspect or what led up to that shooting. West Hartford Public Schools says Siegel was an honor roll senior at Hall High School. They say he was the sweetest soul who moved through life with kindness and intention. Funeral plans are scheduled for Thursday.
Nearly a dozen people were rescued after a fire, being trapped inside a burning building during a fire. Now, this happened on Chapel Street in New Haven earlier today. Of the 11 people rescued, some were hanging out of windows as flames and smoke filled the upper floors. Firefighters arrived within minutes, and everyone made it out safely, and no one was hurt. In total, 22 people were displaced. Officials say the building isn't a total loss, but it will be some time before people can move back in.